I'm Vera Clay, Vera-Clay, Public Information Supervisor for the St. Louis County Police Department. Just after 8 a.m., or actually just before 8 a.m. this morning, officers from the St. Louis County Affton Southwest Precinct were called here to the 8900 block of New Hampshire Avenue for a child abduction. It was reported to us as the child was inside of a vehicle when the adult who the child was in custody of went back into the home and came back out and the vehicle was missing. The 5-year-old who is missing, her name is Elise. We've had a couple different spellings, so I'm going to update her spelling. It's Aleise Dawson, Dawson. She is a black female, about 2 feet 6 inches tall, weighing 60 pounds. She was reported missing just before 8 a.m. this morning. She was last seen wearing a pink flower power shirt and blue shorts. She also has 4 ponytails in her hair. Again, she's 5 years old and was reported missing along with the vehicle. Now that vehicle was located a couple blocks from here. It was a teal 2020 Jeep Renegade. It was located a couple blocks from here on Manafort Garden apartment complex. That's near Apley Walk. So officers got to this location. They started a search. The vehicle was spotted a few blocks over in Manafort Gardens complex. So we have detectives over there processing that scene. We have detectives here. Right now we have officers from our Crimes Against Persons unit, the 3rd precinct, the 4th precinct, our special response unit, K9, the Metro Air Support is up. So of course, any resources that we have available right now to locate this child is what we're utilizing at this point. Because there is no photo of this child, what we need is the public's help. Anyone seeing anything suspicious, any child with these clothes on, anything that seems out of the ordinary, we really have no idea where this child is or who they are with at this time. So we need the public to call 911 if you see anything. We are utilizing our social media channels for this, but be sure to call 911 if you have any information. Don't leave tips and comments on those channels. What we want you to do is see the information, share the information, and then call 911 if you have any information about where this child is or who they may even be with. Does anybody have any questions?
Vera, on the car that was taken, do you guys have any inkling that this was like just a stranger that came up and abducted the car with a child in it? Do we have any idea there at all?
Right, so we don't. Right now, it's unclear if this person was known to the victim and the guardian at this point, or if this was completely random. So that's why it's really important that at this time we try to locate this child.
We know we found the car. Do we believe they're on foot? Are they in another car?
We don't know. Like I said, our investigators are up there right now. They are exploring all of those options at this point.
Did the little girl live here, or was she with a guardian that was taking care of her?
Right now, it sounds like she came to this guardian probably just in the last few weeks. I know that sounds strange, you don't have a photo of her, but that may be the reason. And so that's why right now we're trying to sort out exactly how long she's been here and who may have taken her.
So she was living here?
She was living here.
Do these apartments have a name?
I don't know.
Okay.
We can find out. We can find out for you, though. No big deal.
That's fine. Okay.
Is the guardian a relative, do we know?
Yes, we believe the guardian is a relative, but I am going to say that we are still sorting through all of those details at this time. These detectives are going to ask all the questions that they need to figure out how this child got here and where she is right now.
We know the Amber Alert was put out probably an hour or so afterwards. Was there a delay there, or kind of what caused that there?
I don't believe there was a delay there. Of course, in this type of work, it may feel like a delay, but we're going through all the channels and getting all the information that we need to get to the state to put that information out. So it's really important when an Amber Alert is issued that people pay attention to those. And that's why when you come up on something where it's like, we're not exactly sure what has happened, we're going to keep talking to the people who were present, but at this time, any information that they can give us is going to be highly, highly valued if anybody sees anything.
So this at this point is being treated as an Amber Alert, as an actual child abduction?
This is a child abduction. This is an Amber Alert, and that is how we are treating it.
Vera, can you speak to and you spoke to it alluded to with all the resources you're putting into it, your mindset right now has got to be a full court press in these opening hours, something like this.
Absolutely. There's a 5-year-old out there and no one knows where she is. So we are going to utilize every resource that we have available to our department. And like I said, that includes our Metro Air Support Unit. You all have seen that helicopter flying. You got the officers who are inside of this residence. You have the officers and the detectives who are down the street where the vehicle is. They're not going to stop until they figure out where this child is.
Any indication of why that car was left there, or did they, for any reason, did they also live there, or we just still have no indication of why
What car?
The car that was abandoned.
The car that was abandoned. Oh, over on Matterfort? Yeah. No idea why it was left in that particular area.
If you had any message to anyone who may have seen the child since then, or the person maybe even holding that child, what would that message be?
It's most important that this child has the opportunity to make it back to where they're supposed to be safely, to turn yourself in or call 911. Our officers are more than willing to meet you wherever you are, just so we can get that child safely back into custody.
Do we know where the child was originally in the car? Were they going somewhere, or was that child taken, put in the car?
The child, from the first report, the guardian brought the child out, put her in the car, went inside to get something else, and came back out, and the car was gone.
So
So
I
you
may have missed that.
investigating-
What was a Jeep Renegade, you say?
It was a 2020 Jeep Renegade.
Okay, thank you.
So are you investigating this as a car theft gone awry, or a targeted abduction, or does it even matter?
That's a great question, and no, it doesn't matter. There's a missing 5-year-old, so this is an abduction case. We will go ahead and try to get you guys an update again, hopefully in a couple of hours. So again, if anybody has seen anything, if anybody knows the whereabouts of this child, again, her name is Elise Dawson. She is 5 years old, 2 feet tall, 6 inches, 60 pounds, so she's a little something. She had 4 ponytails in her hair, wearing a pink Flower Power t-shirt and blue shorts. Last seen about 8 o'clock this morning here at New Hampshire Avenue. We need anybody who has any information to call 911.
ALISE.
ALEISE. We did the same thing. Thank you guys.